yeah, in that case, I think that's what you should go with. Whatever you
Okay.
feel is right, because it's what you feel is right. Like you can't let anyone tell you, yeah, you should be Wicca because this. You should just think that you need to go with whatever you think it's right because it's something that it's just gonna affect you. Hi.
Hola, ¿cómo está usted?
Bien.
That's about the extent of my Spanish knowledge. So
I see. Well,
I just
good. How
thought I'd
are
show off a little bit there.
how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm fine. Good.
Good.
Nice. So, how are you gonna do this? Like, have you thought about some questions or?
Well, the questions kind of just come as we go, so you'll kind of see how this kind of unfolds. It kind of just
Okay.
comes about naturally.
Okay, nice.
Cool.
Well, first of all, I want to do like a little disclaimer that like it's like I'm still learning about the religion and all of that, so maybe I don't say stuff that it's completely right or something because it's like a branch of that religion. And yeah, so I mean, so maybe if you ask me like super specific stuff, I don't know it because it's been only like half a year or something since I started like actually learning about the religion and stuff.
Okay, sure. And as you see, the questions that I ask won't will be more about your opinion, I suppose, rather than like hard facts. And if you
Oh,
don't know an answer, saying I don't know, that's like perfectly acceptable.
oh, okay, great. Okay, nice. I was
All
so
right.
nervous. I was like, oh no, what if he asks me something I don't know? Okay,
Oh
good.
yeah, no problems. And one of the things that I would really like you to do is just to be open and honest.
Yeah.
That's really all that I ask. Other than
Okay.
that, there's really no rules. No, you can just say what you think. Really.
Okay, good. All
All
right.
right. So, if you don't mind, I don't really know much about Wicca. I'm pretty much the only things that I know is I took a very quick read of Wikipedia, but
Mm-hmm.
I honestly I didn't really learn much from it. So, if you can
Oh,
just kind of fill me in on what it is.
okay. So Wicca is like a religion, and there's like two main um gods. There's like the god and the goddess. That's their names. And the god, it's like the sun, the forest, and the goddess is like the moon, the stars, and the sea. And so those are like the main gods of the religion. And it's a religion that works with witchcraft. Like it's like it works with the energy that it's in the universe. So like with tarot cards and like just by meditation and stuff. That's how like you kind of can communicate with the world and your gods and stuff. And the people who are in the religion, they have some gods they can work with. They usually choose you. You can't choose them. For example, I work with Poseidon, and it's kind of like just get signs. You can put up like candles for them, and obviously in a room where no wind is gonna get to the candle and stuff. And you can kind of see if it moves, or with a pendulum you can see if they actually chose you and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. And they have like Sabbats, which are the holidays, and yeah, that's about it. It's just like really, it's um a religion that it's more directed to just being good with nature, being good to yourself, and work with the elements and within yourself, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a
Okay.
really spirit based religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just kind of recap, if you don't mind. So it sounds like there's two main gods. The names
Mm-hmm.
are God
Yeah.
and Goddess. The
Mm-hmm.
the first one is like the sun and the forest, and Goddess
Mm-hmm.
is like the moon and the sea, and
Yes.
it kind of revolves around witchcraft and energy of the universe.
Yes.
And then there's, I guess, other gods that, and the gods choose you. You don't choose the gods.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
one example that you gave was that you can like swing a pendulum, and then
Mm-hmm.
depending on how that reacts, it might the god might have chosen you.
Yeah, and with the candles, you can get like a candle for that god, and depending on how it moves and stuff, you can also see if it actually wants to work with you. Because you, first of all, before doing all of that, you get like signs. Like, for example, you're in the city and you smell the sea or stuff like that, you know? So that's like a sign that the god may want to work with you.
Hmm.
So yeah. And then you can like try to put a candle for them, see if it moves around, and then the pendulum and stuff. And meditating is the most, because that's how you actually like communicate with the gods. They can also come to you in dreams, but it's not as usual.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with regards to all of this kind of the whole overview,
Mm-hmm.
you do believe all of this to be like truthful, to be like facts?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the thing is that I kind of believe in like my own branch of the Wicca, because the Wicca is not like it's not like Christianism or something that they have the Bible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wicca is more like there's a lot of books, there's a lot of opinions, because it's like uh mm, it's pagan. It's a pagan. So there's a lot of gods, there's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of ways people work with Wicca. Like maybe you do believe in the god and the goddess, maybe you don't believe in working with gods. Like it's just you create your own version of the religion, you know?
Mm,
Everyone
okay.
has their own way of doing it.
Okay, so your version might be different than another person's version, and you might both call yourself Wiccan.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Like, for example, for me, it's more like the universe has the energy and it flows around us. And like, you work with that energy. Like, it comes from nature, and that energy, like, kind of evolves into the gods that you work with. And like, when you swing a pendulum, maybe it's the god, maybe it's the energy, stuff like that. That's what I think. Like it's
Okay.
just energy and it becomes something else.
All right. I guess I would like to talk specifically about like your version. So,
Yeah.
with regards to your specific version of Wicca,
Mm-hmm.
how confident are you that it's 100%, or how confident are you that it's true?
I'm 100% sure. I mean, if I wasn't 100% sure that I like, if I didn't think it was true, I wouldn't believe in it. Like, if I was just 80% sure, I would just think I would just try to find some other religion that comes like has 100% what I think. I
Hmm.
wouldn't say I wouldn't say like would you say you're Christian if you don't believe in God? No, right?
Right. Right.
So how can you believe in God? Think that maybe God is real, but say you're Christian, you can't. you have to believe God is real 100% to say you're Christian. That's what I think. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you think that it's why are you at that 100%? What are your reasons for this belief?
I think I've always been kind of like really spiritual. Like I've always like my entire childhood was in a small village, and the forest was like next to it, and I would always be in the forest and stuff. So it just makes me like, I would always think like, when I was in the forest, I would always feel like the energy that the forest had and all of that. So it just makes sense to me. I just
Hmm.
think, yeah, I can just feel it. So that's why I believe in it.
Okay. So you lived in a pretty small like city or village, and there was a forest adjacent, it sounds.
Yes.
And you probably sounds like you hung out there, and you kind of just felt the energy of the forest, and
Yes.
that's why you believe that your version of Wicca is true.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that there can be perhaps maybe a buddy of yours or a friend of yours that perhaps grew up with you in the same little area, and maybe they went out to the forest as well? Do you think that they would come to the exact same conclusion that you did?
Well, my best friend, she we've been best friends since we were like 4, and
Mm-hmm.
we always hung out there and stuff. So she actually believes the same thing I do, which, it's not only me, it's also her, and some of my friends also believe in that. So it just proves my point. Like, the
Sure.
energy and all of that, they feel it too. Whenever, like, it doesn't matter if you're in the forest, you can just be in a park and you feel the energy around you.
Do you think there are people who go out to parks, perhaps, the really beautiful ones, and they go and they see all the nature? Let's say they go out to, a really beautiful waterfall, and it
Yes.
really makes them happy. It gives them a lot of good feelings because, they're out in nature and it's all really beautiful. But do you think that they can feel that beauty and perhaps not think that there's any gods or anything really controlling that beauty?
Mm, yeah, I mean, everyone just, because you may feel the energy or something like that. I mean, you don't have to believe in it. It just, when people go to like as you said, like a beautiful waterfall and stuff like that, and they just feel happy, it just makes you feel happy, and I think that's the energy that's in there that just makes you feel calm. And yeah, so
Okay.
I you don't really need to believe in the energy, you just feel it. It doesn't matter if you think there's nothing more to it, but you still feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it can definitely, being in nature can be a super relaxing time. I enjoy it myself. However, do you think that just because nature is relaxing, do you think that's a good reason to believe that perhaps gods exist?
Mm, well, I think kind of, I don't know, if I'm not sure if I'm answering to your question with this, but I think kind of everyone, mm, like every human, probably looks for something to believe. Like, we just can't and accept the fact that maybe there's nothing else besides just us. Like, we always like to think that there's something more, something magical, and something just bigger than us. And wait, what was the question?
It was. I'll kind of give you the Reader's Digest of it. It was basically if you go out into nature and you feel really relaxed, is
Yeah.
that a good reason to believe in a god?
You could. Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah.
Hmm. I have an example. I got this Hindu buddy that I talk to quite frequently,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not Hindu myself, but I absolutely love him to death, and we talk quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit. And he has this very, very strong connection with nature.
Yeah.
And because of that connection, he has concluded that Vishnu, the Hindu god, one of the Hindu gods, is, he's at the 100% mark that Vishnu is real.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if I were to talk to you and then talk to him, who should I believe? Why why has why should I who should I go with? Who should I think is telling the truth?
Well, I would say you should go with whoever you feel like, w- with whatever you think it's right, feel like you feel it's right. But in Wiccan, in Wicca, we like you can work with any god that exists. Like, so it in Wicca, that god also, it's also real, you know? So it's
Hmm.
kind of like it involves every religion, Wicca. Just work with whoever you feel the most connection with and stuff. So basically, like, I would agree with him. I would also say that he is 100% real. And even if he calls him the god, that god's name, and I call it like um another god's name, it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing. It's always like the energy and stuff. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
how you call it, it's always the same thing.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always the same thing.
Yes.
Interesting.
For
Okay.
me.
So
Yes.
so I'd just like to back up for a little bit of a recap. So I kind of had asked which, if I should believe my Hindu friend or I should believe you, and I
Yeah.
think your answer went along the lines. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that I should just kind of go with my feelings
Yeah.
about, and if I have a feel connection with those feelings, I should kind of just go with that.
Yes.
And then you said that his god perhaps is the exact same god of Wicca or of any religion. It seemed like you were
Yeah.
saying that. Is that what you meant? Like all gods are the same
Yeah.
god? It's just they have different
Um,
names.
kind of like, because as I said first, I think everything is like the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So the energy just takes different forms, different like personalities and stuff.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah, so I that's what I think. But like at the same time, if we are talking about Wicca, um, Wicca has like, it hugs every religion and every god. So in my point of view, his god would be real as well. Maybe it has a different personality than another god, but like it's energy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. With regards to Hinduism and let's say Christianity,
Hmm.
like in Wicca even. Well, let's exclude Wicca for now. Let's talk about Christianity
Yes.
and Hinduism. The doctrines are just so wildly different, right? So they have completely different theories on how the world was created and what rules to live by, right? It's just like totally different, like complete, almost polar opposites. Yet they're somehow the same energy, you said?
Well, the thing is, I don't know much about Hinduism,
Hmm,
but
okay.
in my opinion, so I have no idea how the world was created by their beliefs and stuff. I just know
Mm-hmm.
the Christian one, but um, like, even if that's just the way they decided to. write it, you know? We don't
Okay.
really know what actually happened, how it was created, and maybe for them, like they thought it was some way, and then Christian people thought it was some other way. Like I don't have a opinion about that because
Okay.
I just think it was there.
No problem. No worries. Um, I guess if you don't mind me going back to the, you said that with regards to what religion that I should
Yeah.
choose, you said I should go with my feelings, whatever I have a connection to.
Yes.
Do you think that your feelings or your emotions, that do you think they are a pathway to truth?
I think yes. Yes, I do. I think so. We yeah, definitely. I
Ha-
think so. Yes.
Has there ever been an example, perhaps in your personal life, or you don't have to share it as a specific example if you don't want to, but can you think of an example where somebody, maybe yourself, maybe not, but an example where somebody's feelings have led them to an incorrect, um, something that was not truthful?
Mm, mm, I probably do because like you always have to think before you do stuff, even if your feelings or your gut tells you that you really need to do something, maybe it's not the right thing, and that's okay. But like I think usually our feelings, mm, it's it our feelings is really what we hope for, really. So if you I don't know how to explain myself. So, I mean, yeah, I guess probably I've known people who trusted their feelings and stuff, and bad stuff happened. Because
Sure.
you need to think about it anyways. Even if that's what you really want and that's what you really think may make you happy, you need to really, really think if that's worth it, like, and stuff.
Sure. And I hesitate to bring up my own example, but I think I will.
Yeah.
Do you think that someone can have a feeling that, and I don't want to get too controversial here, but I'm gonna, the example might sound a little silly, but
Okay.
I guess just work with me here.
Okay. Okay.
Let's say there's one person that they have these feelings and they have concluded because of those feelings that it's true that purple people are the superior race over the green people. Do you think that that person, because they had those feelings, that that's truthful?
No. Um, Probably those feelings aren't really actually what they think. It's just probably just hate they have inside, hate about stuff that may have happened to them, about like with the green people, or but I don't think that's if you ask them before whatever happened with green people, they wouldn't want purple people to be better. It's just hate that's inside of them, what makes them think they want that. But I don't think anyone, I don't think that's their true feelings.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So in that scenario, I think you would agree that feelings wouldn't be able to come to a truthful conclusion.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, for like my case, where I'm like trying to figure out which religion is the one to go with,
Mhm.
you still think that me using my feelings could be a reliable way to find out truth?
Yeah, in that case, I think that's what you should go with. Whatever you
Okay.
feel is right, because it's what you feel is right. Like you can't let anyone tell you, yeah, you should be Wicca because this. You should just think that you, yeah, you need to go with whatever you think it's right because it's something that it's just gonna affect you, you know, and you should just go with whatever you think it's the right thing. In that case, definitely.
And I guess what's the difference between the two? Both are using emotions or just how you feel about a particular subject. Why is it okay to use feelings for one particular thing and not for another?
Because in the religion one, it's only gonna affect you. In the other one, it's gonna affect a lot of people that probably don't even deserve it, and it's just because you had something with just one green person that maybe treated you the wrong way and stuff. It's not. I think you should go with your feelings only when it's only gonna affect you, and when it's gonna affect more people, you should really think about what you're gonna do because it's
Hmm.
not affecting only you. That's just being selfish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that religion has ever affected other people other than the person who is practicing the religion?
Yes.
Okay.
There's so much history with that.
So, I guess what you're saying is that if you have a religion, that you probably should only let it affect you and not the ones around you.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Um, I guess we have a few more minutes anyway. Um, if you don't mind talking for a few more minutes,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I just want to go back to the pendulum for a moment
Oh,
because
yeah.
that really sparked my interest, and I
Mhm.
kind of wanted to talk about that. So this pendulum, I don't know exactly how it works, but you do something to it, and then that determines whether a god has chosen you.
Well, the pendulum is used for a lot of stuff. Like you can ask it either like if it's gonna rain tomorrow, you can ask it if you're gonna pass exam. You can ask if someone's is gonna get better. You know, it's not
Hmm.
only to determine if a god has. You can just ask anything, which can be answered with yes or no. So
Okay.
it's a pendulum, right? And it can be made of wood or with a crystal or so mine I have one and mine is made of um, rose quartz and transparent quartz and you clean it with in, let me let me translate a word because I'm not sure if I'm gonna say it right.
Okay. It's no big deal if you don't say it right.
Incense.
Oh yes, yes, you're saying it right.
Okay, so um you get the incense and you with the smoke you purify it. And you
Mm.
are the only one who's supposed to touch it. If someone else has touched it, you need to purify it again.
Mm. Okay.
So you purify it with the smoke, and then you hold it. You can put your arm on a table because maybe like you move and you don't want to move your hand. You just want to move like you don't want to move at all, so that the pendulum is the actual thing that's moving it by itself. Or like so you ask your god or whatever spirit that may be in the room or whatever, you ask them to help you use the pendulum. And then you ask the pendulum to show you yes and then to show you no, just to be sure. Because my pendulum, for example, it goes back and forth when it's yes, and when it's no, it goes in circles. So you
Hmm.
need to ask it every single way because it may change. It hasn't changed for me ever, but some people say it does. So you need to just to be sure and then you just ask the question and it does its thing and it goes whatever direction the answer is. And you can also, for example, I was gonna buy a tarot deck the other day, and I didn't know which one should get. So I asked my pendulum, and I put the names of the tarot decks that I had liked, and it didn't choose. So I was like, okay, should I just choose myself? And it said yes. So I just chose one that I thought was the right one. But yeah, so it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so this pendulum, it's got you can kind of ask it yes or no questions, and then depending on how it spins, it's either a yes answer or a no answer, right?
But you need to
Okay.
really use it a lot to be able to use it right. Like you need a lot of practice and stuff. For example,
Okay.
my friend, um, he met his mom's best friend the other day. They hadn't met in ever, and he used his pendulum with her, and every single question that she asked him he got right, because he was like, okay, prove me so that I know if I'm actually doing it right. So she asked him about how many kids she had, the name of her parents, stuff like that, and he got it all right. But
Hmm.
sometimes we test each other to see if we're doing it right, because we need to practice a lot. And you can't really know if you're doing it right if you are asking, like, is it going to rain tomorrow? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So we ask each other about stuff that we only know. So to see if the pendulum is actually working. And I sometimes get it right and sometimes I get it wrong. So I'm just still practicing. But he
Hmm.
has it perfect. I don't know how he did it. But yeah.
Sure. So he got it perfect, but then you got it sometimes right and sometimes wrong.
Yeah. Because I don't
Hmm.
practice enough.
You don't practice enough. Okay. Okay. So if you were to practice a lot and get like really good at it, you'd be like almost perfect, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone out there that gets it right like 100% of the time?
I don't know. But every time I ask my friend, he always gets everything right.
Hmm.
So yeah, he just uses it. Like you need to create like a connection with your pendulum. You need to hold it a lot, have it in your hands, like have your energy get into the pendulum and stuff. I just sometimes I forget I have it, so I don't use it, and then I realize I have it, and then I like be with it sometime, and then I forget about it again and stuff. But he's always with it, so I probably it's because of that.
Okay.
I'm just constant enough.
If this was, I don't, how do I want to ask this question? Like, if these were like super super reliable, which it sounds like for some people who practice a lot that they can get super super reliable,
Yeah.
and I've never really heard of these. I guess why aren't they used more? Like for predicting, like when hurricanes or tornadoes or stuff like that.
Well, I think it's always better to use the technology we have, just to make sure.
Sure,
But
sure.
people use more tarot decks because they are more precise. Like you can get like whole sentence kind of out of with a with a pendulum. You can just get yes or no, and it doesn't always. It's not always 100. Because like when you ask it if it's gonna rain, maybe it says no, or maybe it says yes, and then maybe something else happens. So like, I don't know. I think it's
Hmm.
better if we just use the technology we have.
Okay, sure, sure. All right, I do want to respect your time. We can keep talking if you want, but I know I think we went over 30 minutes by a few minutes now. So if you want to wrap it up, we certainly can do that.
Wait, how many questions left do you have?
I think I'm pretty much out of questions. If you want to ask me anything about myself, I always like to give the other person I'm interviewing a chance to ask me questions.
Okay. Well, I want to know what, like, do you have a religion you follow or?
I do not. I don't think there's any reason, any evidence that there is that any religion is truthful. Therefore, I don't follow
Yeah.
any religion.
Hmm. I see. I see. Well,
Sure.
I used to not follow any religion, and then I went to Thailand and I fell in love with Buddhism, and I was like, maybe this is my religion. And then I came back here and I started like researching about it, and then I found Wicca, and it just made sense to me. So,
Oh, okay.
hmm,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I just feel like I just need to have a reliable method to determine truth for me. And if there's a reliable method that someone's using out there and they come to a conclusion that a religion is true, I definitely would look
yeah,
into that. But so far, I have not found anyone that in my opinion uses a
yeah,
reliable way to come to a conclusion that a religion is true. Just for me, though.
yeah. I understand it. I understand it.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I don't think I have any more questions then. If you don't really believe in any religion, I don't know what to ask.
Okay, no problem. All right, I guess we can wrap it up there.
Okay,
Perhaps we can have another conversation maybe in a few weeks or something if you're okay with that.
sure. I had fun.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad you did. All right, I guess until then, hasta luego.
Hasta
Or
luego.
wait, what
Bye.
does that mean? Does that mean see you tomorrow?
Yeah, like see you later.
Oh, see you later. Okay, then that made sense. I was right. Okay. All right, maybe I'll just stick with adios.
Okay, adios. Adios.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.